I'm pumped because in this video, I'm sharing 8 grounded predictions for where AI search is heading in 2026. This comes from 15 years, too long, in SEO and leading one of the largest SEO teams in the world, US, UK, and Australia. My predictions are backed by over 500 collective years of SEO experience. Now, I share that not as some vanity metric or to try and, impress you, but it's really to show you the exposure to thousands of algo updates, experiments, and all the stuff we're doing. I've distilled all of that knowledge for you today in one video to get you ready for the future of search. If even half of these predictions pan out, you are going to dominate the hell out of 2026. So if you love content like this, breaking down AI, subscribe so you don't miss any of our future stuff. First prediction is the death of the keyword. So keywords are dying 100%. If you still think that AI search behaves like Google, you're frankly behind. Last week, I ran a simple test in this office. We had 10 people, the same buying task, and it was to buy a couch using LLM tools. And if you've ever bought a couch, by the way, difficult process. But every single person used a different prompt and got completely different, very personalized results. But when we ran that same test in Google, almost everyone typed the exact same thing, which was just couch Melbourne. That gap is honestly the whole story I want to talk about here. Because AI search doesn't funnel people into predictable keywords. It explodes them into these thousands of unique long-tail prompts. So if 2,000 people search for a 3-seater couch today, there would be 2,000 different people getting 2,000 different questions. Each is going to be shaped by their room size, their urgency, past behavior, preferences. I mean, it's like the Goldilocks example. Like, I've got this great couch at my house. People hate it. It's all in the eye of the beholder. And AI might even know at one day what is your preference of couch softness. And that's why this new wave of AI rank trackers feels shaky. You've got tools like Peak and Profound, and they make sense emotionally. I totally 100% get it. Fundamentally, everyone wants to know what people are typing in AI. But that assumption underneath them is totally wrong. LLMs don't rank results based on keyword matching. They evaluate the context, the relationships, authority, and most importantly, honestly, is the personalization, which means that keyword tracking doesn't just break, but also phrase tracking breaks too, because people just don't search the same way, as we saw in that couch example, which means that the only thing that actually holds up is topical authority. For those of you that know, I've got this e-commerce brand called Caddy that I co-founded, and that proved this 100%. I didn't bother chasing keywords with that. I focused on digital PR, building the credibility, becoming the most reliable source. And that is what surfaced us in AI journeys. Not some single target keyword that we went after, it was the overall topical authority. This shift actually gives new SEO specialists a real edge because they're not going to have to unlearn the old model like people like me that have been doing it for 15 years. And it's why AI visibility tools that cling to these keyword style metrics will fade unless they adapt. The platforms that figure out how to measure authority, not just some keyword or phrase or even position, are the ones that are going to win. The takeaway is to stop obsessing over keywords. They are dead. Build depth and credibility around topics because that is what AI is going to prioritize. Second prediction is that search is becoming platform agnostic. So you got these brands that ignore offsite presence and they're going to lose during what I call this new consideration phase. And I'll come back to that. I was sitting in a cafe last week and I don't know about you guys, sometimes you see people on their computers and everyone's curious about what they're on, right? And I saw this person and it looked like they were buying shoes. So I was watching over their shoulder in this coffee shop just to see how they went through the journey. A little creepy, but bear with me. And they compared these options in ChatGPT. They skimmed these reviews, they checked out a few videos, they made their choice, and then they just typed the brand's URL directly. So Google didn't get any attribution to that search, neither did AI, the brand did. What that's telling me, there's so much more consideration and search happening in AI than we're seeing translate to revenue because it's being misattributed. And I'll talk about that in another prediction. Without getting into conspiracies or putting too much of a tinfoil hat on, when Google recently started experimenting with adding social data in Search Console, it confirmed this 100%. Because search isn't about just your website anymore. The real shift now is what I'm calling the new consideration phase. That's what happens when you type a question into an LLM. That triggers what we call a fan out query. And to simplify this, what happens when you search is that ChatGPT or Google will perform a bunch of different, more traditional keyword searches in Google to try and understand your intent or provide better answers before then compiling those results back to you. This means that while previously only power users are going to search for products on Reddit or reviews off platform, now by default, everyone does because AI is doing it for them. Frankly, this makes Google stronger because previously it was more of a discovery tool, but now it's become a powerful engine for people comparing or researching options, which means in 2026, it stops being about ranking a page for SEO and starts becoming about showing up wherever people are looking when they're deciding. So your site, other people's sites, reviews, videos, whatever offsite signal that proves you're real, because if you leave gaps, someone else is going to fill them. My third prediction is that Google's AI rollout is going to follow revenue, not necessarily innovation. Google is not going to scale AI answers until they know they can monetize them without cutting into their ads. That is honestly, I think the real constraint. My general manager in the UK, Anthony, snuck into the Google search event last week or a couple weeks ago and messaged me straight after. And the takeaway he had from being with people at Google was super blunt. And he said that the rollout of AI answers is going to be governed by that one thing, which is when Google works out how to monetize them properly. People are still framing this like some pure tech arms race between Google and OpenAI, but it's not. Google is a business with a huge payroll tied to its ad machine that prints money. They can't risk breaking that, and ultimately they need to figure out a way to commercialize this, otherwise Google and poor old Sam Altman will run out of money. So expect controlled expansion here, not some sudden AI takeover. It's going to keep growing inside the results, but only as fast as Google's revenue model allows. Here's my fourth prediction. Black hat tactics are going to spike here before they absolutely collapse. Doing this long enough, you see every major algorithm shift and it creates this window of abuse. 2026 is going to be no different. Shortcuts are going to boom and then they're just going to bust. I've seen this cycle too many freaking times. I got a friend of mine, his name's Dan. He won't mind me sharing this, but he started in SEO when I did about 15 years ago, and he chased every black hat trick he could find in the book. So there was like parasite plays, you've got age domains, automated networks. He did a lot of PBN stuff back in the day. And sure, he made money, but if he put that same energy and effort into building authority, he'd be worth 8 figures today instead of 6. And he'll tell you that himself. And right now, the black hat crowd is loud again. You could feel it in Chiang Mai SEO, which is where my mate Lawrence was a few weeks back. You can expect a lot more parasite SEO, which is weak brands publishing on high authority domains to hijack inherited trust. It works at the moment because reputation transfers faster than these detection systems can adapt, but it won't forever. Then you've got age domains, which is buying old sites for the historical trust signals that appear strong early, but history without that relevance then gets filtered out once these new models spot that mismatch. And then the big one I'm seeing at the moment is automated networks. So AI makes it super cheap to spin up massive content ecosystems, but detection systems are built to target exactly that kind of low quality stuff. That short-term exploitation always strikes first. These tactics are working again, just like in the early days of Google, but then the platforms tighten the screws. The moment that I stopped fighting the system and focused on compounding the authority, progress stopped resetting. That's why I don't advocate for these plays. They just don't last. If you want to see how this wave unfolds and where those real long-term gains will be, I'm going to be sharing a ton of cool tests and content that we've done in upcoming videos, so subscribe along to follow that. But I don't want to teach you these short-term hacks so that you make the same mistakes that I did early out. I want to teach you the long-term stuff that is going to compound your growth and make you really successful. My fifth prediction is a bit of a doozy and it's not great for us, but traditional attribution is going to break and teams are going to be forced to track revenue and demands instead of keywords, which we spoke about earlier. That's because as AI splinters that user journey more, linear attribution just collapses. The funnels stop behaving like funnels and they're more like webs. You just can't map keyword click conversion with a straight face anymore. Today's path looks more like discovering a brand, comparing it in ChatGPT, price checking the alternatives, then getting hit with social retargeting, converting from an email, and half that journey is invisible and the parts you can see don't line up neatly. So the result is that keyword tracking stops representing reality. The good news is, the silver lining is that measurement doesn't totally die, it shifts, and teams are going to anchor around revenue metrics because cash is the cleanest signal left. And honestly, it's about time we should be more focused on cash that we're generating. The other thing is going to be brand search demand. So if more people are looking up a brand, then that system is working. In that AI first world, demand is going to be that new North Star. My sixth prediction is that as models evolve, the ranking is going to shift from links to authority signals. Now, this is obvious if you've watch the rest of this video. But models are getting better at reading and interpreting reputation. Not just URLs, but the signals that matter the most are around brand mentions, media references, reputation cues, and most importantly, entity recognition. This is where digital PR becomes a real engine. I briefly spoke about this before when I was talking about Caddy and the digital PR. We did a video on something called the RAIDS protocol, and the coverage we generated beat traditional outreach by like miles. It was faster, it was cheaper, it was a way better ROI, and we had zero dependence on link swaps or templates, or even just paying at all for links. I expect the industry to move in the same direction. That traditional outreach style link building declines and reputation-based placements become the new norm. What this means is that SEO moves closer to earned media and comms strategy. So the practical takeaway for you here is that public recognition is gonna outperform technical optimization. You have to get known. That's what models are rewarding, and that's what it's all about. Lucky number 7th prediction is that AI search visibility goes to who's known, not just who is published. I notice this a lot with my own tests. So I'd have the same topic, the same structure, the same quality, but one piece would be published under my name and one piece was published anonymously. The version with my name won every single time, 11 out of 11. What this tells me is that AI signals are learning from public signals, not just on-page text. They're pulling from podcasts and video transcripts, your media coverage, your quoted sources, even things like public discussions across platforms to determine, is this person talking about this an expert? And those signals are reinforcing entities, they're reinforcing authority and familiarity. Brands and founders as well, who show up publicly, are getting baked deeper into those models. So that pushes podcasts, speaking, collaborations, and earned media out of the brand building bucket and into the core visibility infrastructure. By 2026, SEO is just going to converge further with founder visibility and thought leadership. Named people and brands are going to outperform faceless sites by default, which makes personal brand a huge ranking advantage. For founders, visibility becomes part of that organic acquisition. For SEOs, personal brand enablement and working with people stops being optional. It actually becomes part of the job. It also helps my SEO ranking. So it's a win-win. My 8th prediction, the last one that I could fit in this video, I could talk about this all day, is that teams that refuse agent-driven SEO workflows are going to be overtaken by people that adopt them early. I've seen this firsthand at Studio Hawk. First, we went full robot, and that was no good. Then we tried just humans, which was fine, but super inefficient. But when we augmented humans with AI, we had by far the best outcomes, both in terms of quality and output. SEO is going to become less manual and more system-driven. Don't let that scare you. AI doesn't replace SEO, it changes where humans add value. The industry is going to move towards strategic planning, system design, execution through automation. I do not want to spend 10 hours going through and adding meta descriptions or fixing up basic technical issues. The future of SEO teams is about designing workflows, not writing every word. And I find that super exciting. To be closer to the business and closer to the strategy, it's more exhilarating, it's more creative, and there's more impact that you can have. So don't look at this like a negative. Look at this as a positive, and it will expand the influence that SEO gets to touch. Brand managers and product managers are now going to be a part of what we do. SEO is shifting towards a system where authority beats keywords, presence beats pages, reputation beats backlinks, and visibility across platform beats anything tied to Google or your website alone. AI is going to reward those entities, those experts, those brands with public proof, and teams that build workflows instead of relying on old tactics are going to reap the rewards. But I'll be reviewing these in a year's time. If anything, I think they might be slightly early for a couple, but I really do believe after 15 years, this is where the future of SEO is taking us. So if you're interested in following along, subscribe because I've got plenty more where this came from.